Alex Logston with vermicompost.com, here to show you how to make a worm bin for under $36 for pretty easily attainable items that you can buy at your local store. Worm bins are extremely beneficial to yourself, your garden, and your local community. It reduces your footprint by recycling all of your organic materials that you can find in your house, creates a constant fertilizer, a worm juice, and your final product, the vermicompost. It's no smell, always recycling newspaper or any type of regular kitchen scraps. The perfect dirt is the finish, and it fits or accommodates any type of household. So let's take a look at how to make it. So let's check out the materials we'll need for making that worm bin. I'm going to be using a 18-gallon worm bin, but you can use a smaller size depending on how much green waste you produce or just how much space you have available altogether. Along with that, you're going to want a 23-quart clear bin. No need for the top on that one. For making our faucet, we just use 2 small PVC pieces along with a ball valve pipe and a 90-degree elbow. You'll be drilling that right over here, along with sealing it with a lighter. For making circulation with air and water throughout your worm bin, you're going to need the drill, so for the top and bottom. To make the faucet as well, just use the standard wet and fast PVC glue. And maintaining your worm bin, you're going to want to have a coconut fiber or newspaper grass to keep your moisture. Alright, so let's get started. Drilling the circulation holes for the air and the water. For drilling the holes on the bottom, you're going to want to go to the lowest part of the bin. I drill a hole about every inch, and you want to make sure that it's on the very bottom, because you don't want any water just sitting in there creating a little cesspool. For the top, you want to drill them at the highest parts of the bin. Just want to make sure that there's enough air circulating through so the worms aren't in there suffocating. But let's get started. Now that we've completed the bottom holes, we'll go on to the top. You can pretty much do any type of pattern. Just make sure that it's enough holes to give your worm bin oxygen. I usually just kind of go every 3 inches or so. The faucet. Draining your worm juice can be an easy and daily activity if you make your faucet correctly. You want it to be watertight, so I use a healthy amount of PVC glue. Usually it's pretty tight on there, so you might need a vice grip. You want to put it all around on the inside and the outside of it. Really make sure there's a lot on there. That's good. Put it in. Kind of twist it too, so it gets all the way around. Make sure that it has a good clear airway through it as well. Should be wearing gloves, but today I'm not. Same thing on the other side. Our next step is going to be installing our faucet that we made into the bottom worm juice collection pan. It is essential that you make it watertight, or else you're going to have worm juice constantly leaking. So what we use is a big drill bit, but smaller than the PVC pipe. I'm going to drill a hole down at the farthest bottom part of the bin, and then maybe add on some sealant if needed. But let's begin drilling. Judging by the size of your PVC pipe, you really want to be careful with this step of lighting, sealing your bin. So you'll notice it starts, the hole begins to start widening. While the plastic's melting, you want to insert your faucet nice and gently so you got a good hole. Make sure that it's not melting your PVC pipe at all, and then you hold it nice and sturdy. From there, I don't think it's airtight, so we're going to be using a little bit more wet and seal to really just kind of seal around the edges. Along with inserting your faucet, you want to make sure that it's fitting in correctly with your top bin. So not too far in, but just right. So providing it's airtight, you want to add some sealant around the side to make sure that none of that worm juice gets out. Now you can use surfboard resin, any silicone sealant will do. A lot of people get creative with this, but I like to use this because it's quick, it's fast, and it makes a really solid seal. So we'll take a look. Alright, so with our spigot dry now, our worm bin is almost complete. I'm going to be putting in 2 bricks for the elevation of our bin. That is so the water collects at the bottom pan and not sitting underneath our bin. So it'll look like this when it's complete. Notice I have a lot of holes kind of located all in the bottom section for drainage. This is really important because you don't want any stagnant water just sitting in your bin. Your bin doesn't have any smell, so if you smell anything, that is a clear indicator that something is wrong, or that you're putting in stuff that is real smelly. Alright, so this is our finished worm bin. Notice there's a lot of holes on the top for aeration. You want to put a cover on the top of where underneath where you put all the garbage, because it keeps a lot of the flies out, and then it keeps moisture in. As far as you notice, there's our faucet and our little crank to turn it on and off. We haven't watered it in a bit, so there's not too much worm juice. But here we go. This is our final product.